Hi, it's Amelie. Today for just practicing, we're going to work on Andante pastoral et Scherzettino by Paul Taffanel. So during the live stream, if you have any question, you can leave them and I'll answer them right away. I'll just do a little bit of sounds before I start. Okay, so this piece, it sounds very improvised, but you have to be careful because the piano is precise with you. So if you move the rhythm too much, then the pianist won't be able to play with you. So I think it's really worth looking at the piano part and even writing some things in your score, in your part, writing what's going on with the piano in certain spots. Yeah, because it has to sound improvised, but still be precise rhythmically, I think, for the ensemble. Okay. Start from the beginning?
You can if you want. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, it's Amelie. So today for the just practicing, we're gonna practice Andante pastoral et Scherzettino by Paul Taffanel. Yeah, so I'll start, and if you have any question or comment, just leave them and I'll answer them right away. I'll try, where's my metronome? Here. I'm gonna use my metronome because the piano there is doing, it's like, so I just want to see if I'm precise, and with the metronome it might be easier for me to hear what the piano's doing. In my head, obviously. So that's nice. There you can just think as if you're playing a B flat major scale. So 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 it's easy, you know, you leave your thumb on the B flat and yeah, if you have difficulty going fast there, I would say practice those little spots like this. You start slowly, you know. And then you can do the other one. Because that's a movement you have to be used to. So that's a way to practice it. Also, if you feel that it's not, you're not in control and it's not equal, you can tongue each note and do it slowly a few times to feel more comfortable. So that's it for the first phrase. So it starts loud and then it ends soft on that. Yeah, you can search for the color that you want there. I'll do the first phrase again and I'll continue. Yeah, I would advise to practice that with a metronome at first. Of course, the piano in that part can find you, except in some, like, I would practice it with a piano score a few times or write some things that are interesting. Because if you look here, after the fermata, when you start on D and then E flat, it's like da 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 da. So that C has to be with the piano. Da 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 da. But it's not very difficult to put together in that part, so that should be fine. Let's continue.
Is there a low B at the beginning somewhere?
A low B? No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Somebody wants to talk about how to play with the B foot, but we can talk about that after.
Yeah, we can talk about it after. Okay.
How do you get such a low, full sound on the very low notes?
I don't move too much. I keep I try to blow pretty much the same in every register. So sometimes what I see in people that can't play the low notes is they try to get the low note by covering the whole. They don't realize they're covering the whole maybe, but they do this and then it blocks the air. Like the air has to be in a certain angle. So just keep your head the same as if you were playing another note. And sometimes I tell my students to like what's their best register and then try to play everything with that position. That's your best register. So if it's your high notes, check what you're doing in the high notes and try to play everything like that, because we tend to work too hard to get notes. So here it's 132 per 8 note. Let's see. Put it like this. Oh no, I'm making a mistake in the rhythm here. I'll check my old part. Yeah. Oh yeah, I played that way too loud, I think. Okay. And I know right now I'm subdividing, but really it has to be felt in three beats per measure. It's like da 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 da. You still hear all the 8 notes in your head, but it's the dotted quarter notes that you feel, you know, and they're going forward. I'll do that again. There's a F flat there. Yeah, you have to be careful there with the rhythm, so you always feel that pulse, the 1 2 3 2 2 3 3 2 3. And in some places visually it's a bit tough, so maybe put lines under each beat, or write 1 2 3 for your 3 beats, so you know where it is, because it's not the same feeling if a note is on a downbeat or if it's on the up part of the beat. And you have to feel that in the music. Where was I? Oh yeah, here with the F flat. Yeah. Ah, there's a little loop in between those two notes. You know a way to avoid that between A flat and E flat? Just have to be more coordinated.
Pray to God. You can put other fingers down before to flatten it a little bit.
It's my pinky that doesn't go up fast enough. Yeah, now it's okay. Okay. Here I really feel it's da da dee da da da. It's like you're in the air, you know, floating on that G. And what's the piano doing there? Second. Okay. Okay, so it's a good idea when you have these things, let's say at bar 28, between 28 and 29, you can just do that. And when you get on that G flat, make sure you give the downbeat to the pianist, because they have to, like, you start together there. Okay, and there it's più mosso, so a bit faster. So we were at 132, let's say 144, let's see. Okay, I still think metronome is a good idea, but not too much either, because it's, I don't know, it's poetic music. Okay, I have to look at that. Yeah, and of course the B and C sharp, you know, you just have to move those two fingers fast. Sometimes it's not the trill that's difficult, it's like starting it or ending it. In that case, it's just starting on that B, because you just did the A flat. It helps if you give a little, not an accent as much as like sitting on that B. Okay, that's a lot of work when you first learn it. I learned it a long time ago, and I kind of forgot it. I'm relearning it. Okay. Okay, you have to be careful here with all those sharps, double sharps, and all that stuff, because also sometimes they come back during the bar a bit later. And like here, you have an A sharp that's transformed into a B flat that are slurred, so you don't replay it. It's just, let's say at bar 38, so you go. It's the same note, but then the chord under changes, so that's why the composer doesn't just keep the same name of, like, sometimes students ask, why do they make it so complicated? But it's because some notes are attracted to other notes. So if you have a sharp, usually that note wants to go up, and if you have a flat, usually that note wants to go down. Or in that case, because B flat is part of the accidentals that are part of the piece, it's just more stable. So that A sharp was unstable, wanting to go up, and then he surprises you by changing the chord and making that note stable now. It's a note that was unstable and became stable, so it gives an impression of length. And what you can also do is start by vibrating when you play the A sharp, and then stop on the B flat, and might even give another, like, so it changes the color of that note between the A sharp and the B flat. So I hope that's clear. But be very careful with all those notes when you learn them, because there's a lot of, you know, like C double sharp, it's a D, and then you see it a bit further in the bar. Make sure you're really careful about that. Okay, so maybe I continue? Yeah. I'll take it from 38. Yeah, that's nice. I would have to practice it more if I was playing that in concert, but I think it gives an idea, and it's a good idea to listen to it and pay attention to the piano, and also take the score and see if there's places that you feel you need to know what's going on with the piano. Maybe write it in your score. I do that a lot. It helps, and it takes less time when you have to rehearse with the pianist. So sometimes also it makes it a bit cheaper than having to rehearse way more to put it together. Okay, now the Scherzettino. Okay, so here, let's see, you have an intro with the piano, and then ta-da-dum, bum, 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 bum. And then it's soft. The last chord of the piano, it's like, and then together you go ta-ta, and then you're alone. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. So those two notes need to be really together, really intense, and then there's a big contrast there. I'll stop there and I'll do it again because I was reminding myself of the notes. Yeah, so it has to be like this happy, funny thing. Yeah, you can even think almost cartoonish, you know, when they fight or they, I feel a bit like I imagine that. Yeah, and the articulation has to be crispy. And what else did I want to say about that? Yeah, the accents and also the upbeats. He loves doing, God, I'm looking for my word, syncopations. You know, a syncopation is a note that starts on an upbeat and ends on a downbeat, or starts on a weak beat and ends on a strong beat. But so it's, you have to give it a, it's like here, you have downbeat, upbeat, and if you play on the downbeat you have ta, ta, but here you're going ta, 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 ta. You have to make it sound like it's up, and he even puts a sforzando there to feel it, you know. So it's important that you don't play at 60. Let's say I'll play it a bar before. You You see, with my body, I went forward as if it was a downbeat, but it's an upbeat, so I should go like this, you know? It's so. So be careful with that, you know. Sometimes with our body, we do a movement that goes against the music, and that would be a spot where it's a bit dangerous to do that. Also, we have to be careful with the dynamics there. I'll do it again a bit slower, and I'll be more careful with the dynamics. You see here, the melody goes at bar 64 and 65. It's the top note that's important. The C sharp is just repeated. Okay, here at Poco Meno Mosso, 85, the piano does 16th notes, and you're playing the last of those 16th notes. So pay attention to that. You hear 1, 2, 3, ta 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 ta. That I would write in my music, you know. Sometimes people ask about what is tone color. Tone color is just changing the timbre of the tone. So it goes along with dynamics in a way, but you can do a loud with a lot of timbre and a loud with not much timbre, you know, more open. Same with the soft note. But here, you know, when you're at Poco Meno Mosso 85, it's good to change when you get to 87, 88. Change the color there. I'll turn my page. Oh, okay. So you have to cut that A, have a tiny, tiny rest, and then it's piano. Yeah, kind of making it disappear. I'll try that. Okay, I'll do that again. There's nice dynamics there. little rest before you start again at 104. So it's cool to have that little silence. Then you can breathe there also, and you can go back with the piano like boom there, and the piano does 8 notes there. So be very precise. And also, like at 95, when I say some notes go towards other notes, it has like really feel that B goes towards that A sharp, and then that F double sharp goes towards the C sharp. You know, some notes are anchor points, and some notes are just moving forward. I'll do that from 95. No, again. Okay, I need more air. So I'll need to breathe more at 109. And it's interesting at 107, that little 30-second note with a 30-second rest. It's just, make that note short. He could have just put 16th note with a staccato on it, would have done the same thing. So don't overthink it. Yeah, but you have to change fast because you're doing loud and then subito piano there. Okay. How did I? Okay. Yeah. So you can take a breath there because the piano's not doing much. So at between just after 118, you can breathe there, and you go as soft as possible. And then at 121, I would do it loud, like in the beginning.
Are you tonguing all the fast notes?
No, I'm doing what's written.
Okay.
There's slurs written, so I go tia taka tia tia ti ta ta ta. Oh, and sometimes because I do double tonguing there, so let's say at bar 105, I go ta ta ha ka ta ka ta 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 ha ka ta ta ha ka ta. If a note is on the 2nd or 4th, 16th note of the beat, I'll go ka, because that's what I would do if I was doing taka 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 ta. So I go kata, tia taka tia tia tika, tia taka tia tia ta ta ka taka ta 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 ta. Yeah. For me, it's faster. Some people will do it another way, The thing that's important is that when you practice it slowly, you do the same tongue that you're going to do fast, because you won't be able to just switch it. So don't practice single tonguing when you need to double tongue when it's fast. Even when you practice it slowly, practice double tonguing. Yeah, so if I practice this slowly, I'll do tia taka tia tia tita haka taka ta 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 ta, and I do all the taka ta in the same spot that I will use when I play fast. So I I learned the real way right away, because I won't be able to just switch it when it. That's why I practice slowly, to get the right input in my brain. No. No. Yeah.
How do you get the? Some people say they struggle to get the same quality of sound with ka.
Okay.
And also, how much do you speed up? Do you do it bit by bit or all at once?
Oh, when I practice slowly
Yeah,
and then I
yeah.
practice fast. It depends. Usually I go bit by bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I go gradually. But even when I know the piece and I'm at the real tempo, I always go back to slowly once in a while, just to keep the control of my fingers.
Like
So
limited time.
once I'm at the real speed, I'll practice fast most of the time, but then once or twice here and there I'll do it very slowly, just to make sure I'm in control. Yeah. And sometimes I also push myself when I don't know it yet. I just push myself very fast and then I do it slowly again. But I like to alternate fast and slow. Yeah. Okay, so the ka. Maybe practice just your ka first. So. And make sure you don't move here. Make sure it's like a mask and there's no movement. So look at yourself in the mirror and go. And you can also compare your ta and your ka. So you go. And you try to make them match. Because sometimes we think everything has to be explained, but I remember a teacher just telling me, play your ta and now play your ka and just listen, and by yourself you can just let your body find its way. Very often it works that way. So maybe try with just the ka, and then when you do taka, make sure you're not moving anything here, because maybe you're just disturbing something.
Also, how do you play? Do you have any tips on playing piano for those high notes?
Yeah, that's a bit tough, huh? Like, yeah, there's a couple of spots, huh, where it's piano high notes. Well, when I play high notes, I try to open the back of my mouth and go, ooh. So when I play let's say a G piano, I really feel it, like there's a chord, like a column here that goes, ooh, and it just resonates in my head. But sometimes I practice just that. I go. And what you can do as well, some people practice whistle tones like this. Some people find it helpful. It gives them more control over the embouchure. So you can do a high F fingering and then we call that a whistle tone. So that can be a way to get that, but you have to, when you play soft, you have to put a lot of air pressure, and like in the high register you need air speed, so you need that, but a small quantity of air, a small aperture. But that's why I don't think of air going like this. In my head it just like resonates and I don't even feel it going out, but it took me a long time to feel it like that. Yeah, look for that feeling. And once you have it, try to just, be very conscious of what you feel so that you can go back to that same feeling and do it again. Yeah. So airspeed here, these muscles, they have to all around your thorax, you know. It's like a pump, you know. It goes out and then it's like, but with control. It's not like it's, but with a lot of we tend to think that playing loud is more energy, but for me it's not. Playing loud, you open everything and go, but playing soft, it's all in the control that you have that energy and the. So maybe what you can do is put your hands, where's my, I'll leave it here. Yeah, put your hands here on your ribs and go and feel the ribs expand. Yeah, feel the ribs expand and then feel them going back. And here, between the ribs, it's coming together like this, you know? And feel your back as well, going, and your shoulder blades going like this, and then they go back. Because we hear a lot about belly breathing, which is a good thing, but it's not enough. Well, at least it's not enough for me. Maybe some people can use only that if they have a very big natural lung capacity. I don't know. I didn't study that. But for myself, I need to use I need to use all my body, you know? So, yeah. And that will help you to control the air going out, because those muscles, they're very efficient at controlling at what speed and with what pressure it's going out. Yeah, but don't try to overthink everything. It's really a feeling. Try to get the feeling, not to. It's not as much an understanding as a feeling you have to look for yourself. Yeah. So, should I replay the end? Because yeah, I'll redo the end. It's gonna be how it is, you know, because I.
Have you guys done a video about how to strengthen the diaphragm? there is
You
no
can't.
strengthening.
You can't strengthen your diaphragm.
Yeah, it's a membrane.
The diaphragm is a membrane that is.
Involuntary.
Yeah, it just the muscles around it are voluntary, but the diaphragm itself it's not a muscle; it's a membrane. It's like it goes like this.
Yeah, it protects your lower body organs to your top body organs.
Yeah, it separates your lungs and heart from the other organs under that, you know, the intestines and everything, and the stomach, and so, and when you breathe in, it goes down, and it pushes the organs. That's why your belly goes out, and then, but as I said before, that belly breathing is good, but it's not enough. And since I've started doing Pilates, the breathing is really, we use a lot of the thorax, and it's amazing. Like I had started to use my whole body to breathe because I read books about it and everything, but with those exercises, it's crazy how you feel it, you know.
Would you
And
say
then,
with standing or sitting or both would help with that when you practice those things?
Standing or sitting for me doesn't make a difference.
Mhm.
If you have a good posture in sitting or standing, you should be okay.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I think that's it for now. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go back from 104. I'll do that again. What did I do wrong? I didn't have enough air, so I have to figure it out. Okay. Okay, I'll start again from there. I just want to check something in the piano part. Where did I put it? Ah, here. Okay, so I was wondering about bar 107. Oh, there's no bar here.
No bar numbers?
No, in my piano part. Okay, I think I'm gonna find it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm here because I want to see if I have time. I think between 107 and 108, I don't have time to, because the piano is just like taka 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 ta. I want to make sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's really being super precise at one. I'll practice. I'll do it once with the metronome. I won't do it too fast because I haven't practiced that in a decade at least. No. And when it starts again, that thing here at oh, you're alone, so you can do every at the taka 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 taka, and then you go ta ta. So it's good.
Do you sometimes use the B flat lever on the top of the key?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do? Okay.
Yeah, when I have A sharps and B flat
Oh, I meant
sometimes.
the other one. I meant the other one. The one right next to.
Oh, this one. Yeah. Wait. Oh, yeah. Sorry, that's what I meant too. Very sorry.
It all feels like the same.
Yeah. Oh no, I should stay soft. have to practice it with a metronome slowly.
Yeah, that's the point. You just do it slowly.
Okay, I'll try at the real speed just for fun to see. Kind of. It's okay. Yeah, it's practicing. So.
Cool. You want to ask if there's any more questions?
Yeah. So, is there any more question about that or other stuff?
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily related to that. I think someone was asking about the B flat, the low B. I mean, in the beginning. I don't know. What they wanted to know about the low B.
Cool. There's some questions at the very beginning too, but I can't remember.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying about the low B, maybe.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Oh yeah, can you explain how to use the B foot? And someone also said, Trevor White says, in order to do C sharp on the bottom, it's not to use the pinky thing, but to extend your pinky and actually close the key. You know? I think that's for people who have big hands, because I think Trevor White thinks that everyone has the same hands on the flute.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
There's a mechanism for that reason. If your mechanism doesn't work well, you go to the repair and they will repair your mechanism. Don't break your body. You can buy a new flute, you can't buy a new body.
But it's
you
in
know?
the book. I remember reading that once. Like,
I remember seeing that, yeah.
Like,
but
like,
personally, my hand is way too small to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't think you should, like, maybe if you're a giant, you know.
What is a B foot, if you want to show it on the screen? A B foot adds a key, right?
So the B foot, you see, if you have a C foot, it stops there, you know, and then you add one key. And that key, so here you have the C sharp, then C, then B. One thing that you need to know is that if you just go like this on the B, and you don't close the two other ones that are closer to you, then it's not going to sound like a B. You really have to make sure you add on.
What material is your flute made
You
out of?
see? You add on here. Because I've seen students going like this, and then those two are open, and then your B is not going to go out. So really make sure all three of them are down.
Yeah. Your flute's made of all silver.
Yeah, it's all silver.
Like 995 silver.
Yeah, because someone was asking what my flute's made out of. Silver.
How do you practice getting high notes out consistently every time?
Well, as I said a little bit before, it's about air speed, and also between different registers, don't move too much here. So try to find what's your best register, and then keep the same embouchure for everything, and then just use the air speed. There's a tiny movement here, but it's so small that I feel that if people think about it, then it becomes too big, and then it disturbs more than it helps.
Yeah.
That's my experience, you know. And even for myself, I don't think about that movement because it's a very tiny movement, and my body's doing it automatically. But what I think about is keeping things as stable as possible.
How often do you replace tarnishing strips? We don't use them here because it's not humid. like tarnishing strips. We don't use them.
I don't know what it is.
We make it. They're strips you put inside your case.
To keep the moisture
no,
out, or
no, tarnish. It's like moisture, but also just tarnish. I guess whatever type of oxidization that develops or occurs in the case while transferring. I guess it attaches to it, but
I know also some people are acidic.
Yes.
And then their flutes become all black.
But that's all cosmetic.
But that's just...
Yeah, that doesn't affect anything of the flute.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. I would say don't even try to clean it up, because people who tend to clean it up hit other keys and then bend things by accident, and then...
It doesn't matter if it's black. It doesn't change anything.
No, not at all.
Just you have more acidity on your skin, that's all. It doesn't...
Yeah. Will I... Axel said that they got first from a solo ensemble by playing 3 movements in B minor by Bach memorized, and they're going to state finals. That's kind of cool.
That's very cool. Congratulations. Axel.
Hey, nice name.
Yeah.
Will it be easier? Laura 14 wants to know, will it be easier to play the flute if I already know the clarinet and sax? Yes, of course.
I think if you already know any instrument, it's easier to learn the next one. Just because you know how to read music, you know rhythm, you know all those things. Flute is a bit different, you know, because you don't have an embouchure inside your mouth, and you need to use a lot of air. But you know, no, I think it's the more you learn, the easier it gets.
Yep, 100%. Also, Axel wants to know, by the way, the advice that they gave. The judge told them that at times his vibrato was too wide.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice on the runs for the Polonaise? You know, the Bach Polonaise. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, in Baroque music, I tend to vibrate as little as possible, because on Baroque flutes, they didn't vibrate at all. So in Baroque music, you should try to keep your vibrato to a minimum. I'm not saying don't vibrate at all, because then I used to do that, and I felt I was refraining myself from being musical at times, and my sound would get a bit dull at some points. Just, it was taking me so much energy not to vibrate. Now I just think, I usually don't vibrate, but if I feel like it on a note, I'll do a discrete vibrato, you know. You can visualize your vibrato as a wave, and you can visualize your flute here and imagine you want your vibrato to stay inside the tube. You don't want it to go whoa, whoa, around, over and under, you know? That can be a good visualization too. But when you play Baroque music, you don't need to go like that. And be careful not to go too much, you know, or... I don't know, I didn't hear your vibrato, but yeah, Baroque music, keep it lower a bit. And if you listen to old recordings, you'll see that people used to vibrate way more in Baroque music, but now it's considered kind of out of date, maybe. It's a different taste, because now there's way more Baroque instrumentalists and Baroque groups everywhere, and so with research and everything, people have changed their ways of playing that music.
Will Amelie or Nick be playing a concert anytime? Yeah, you're going to be playing a concerto.
Yeah, I'm going to play a concerto in Montreal in May.
Yeah, and I'll be in the orchestra playing.
Yeah, and Nicolas going to be in the orchestra, and so... in Montreal. If you're in Montreal in May, come in.
There'll be information about that throughout the...
It's with the Orchestra 21 in Montreal. Yeah,
and then FluteCon and other stuff too.
We'll have a flute conference this summer. It's a little bit like our flute festival that was in Montreal, but it's going to be online, so it's easier to participate for everyone.
Yes. Cheaper and
cheaper, easier. Like also, you don't have to get here, so it's a lot less money to spend, and I think it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, they can go to flutecon.com.
Flutecon.com.
And they sign up, and then we'll send all the information.
Yeah, when you sign up, we send all the info, and then we'll organize that, and
what else? Do you drink beverages with sugar in them while playing? The idea of sugar mouth and sticky keys keeps me to water. Yep.
Yeah.
Just use water.
Just use water. Don't drink anything sweet while playing. Like when I play with string players, and they're like, "Do you want something to drink or no? Just water." They eat. No, I don't. I just play and then I'll go and do something else. Even if I ate something, I'll make sure I rinse my mouth with water and.
Yeah. What concerto are you playing?
Oh, I'm playing Scherzettino. Yeah, Scherzettino concerto. He's a composer from Quebec. And yeah, he's very famous here, and it's beautiful.
Probably
I'm
the most
so
famous
happy.
Quebec concerto. It's probably the most famous Quebec concerto, probably.
Yeah, for flute.
For flute, yeah.
Yeah, for flute, for sure. Yeah. It's very nice.
Very well written Canadian piece.
I'm so happy I'm playing that. So yeah, amazing.
There's no recordings of it online. Very hard to find. So we'll definitely have a recording once that's ready. We're gonna do a little documentary about it and stuff. Cool. Yeah. So you want to end off everything, and then
So if you're interested in having lessons with me online, you can email us at info@theflutechannel.com, and we'll send you all the info about that. If you want to help us through Patreon, you can go on our Patreon and see there's different tiers, and it also allows you to have access to our live podcasts and ask questions on the podcast. So for $2 a month, you get that, and for other amounts, you get other things. Go and check it out. If you're looking for a flute, you can look at the Flute Center of New York and use our code TFC. That code gives you some perks, and it also helps us. Everything is in the description, and I think that's it, huh?
Yeah, again, FluteCon too, if you want to sign up for a newsletter.
You can check for FluteCon, and we'll send you all the info about that if you sign up, when you sign up.
So we have a new video we just uploaded today. Go and watch it too.
Yeah,
I guess.
New video about memory, huh? How to memorize. Cool. So, check it out, and I hope this was helpful, and see you next time.